Hidden in the shadow of the mountains lay a quaint little village, forgotten by time and untouched by modernity. It seemed like a picturesque haven. But behind its peaceful facade was a dark secret, buried deep within its woods and whispered only in hushed tones. One fateful night, a desperate cry pierced the silence, echoing through the forest. It wasn't the typical howl of a wolf, it sounded eerily human. This cry would unravel a mystery that had haunted the village for decades. Are you ready to uncover the truth? The village of Grey Hollow was known for two things: its lush, surrounding forests and its strict curfew. No one was allowed outside after sundown. The villagers spoke of wild animals and unseen dangers, but no one dared to question the rule. Among the villagers was a curious young man named Elias. Unlike the others, he wasn't content to live in fear. He had heard tales of the forest, how travelers disappeared without a trace and how some claimed to hear cries that weren't animal nor human. One chilly evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Elias heard it, the cry. A haunting, bone-chilling wail that sent shivers down his spine. But instead of retreating indoors, he grabbed his lantern and ventured out, determined to find the source. Elias followed the sound deeper into the woods, each step pulling him closer to the truth. The forest felt alive, branches seemed to reach for him, and shadows danced in the corner of his vision. Finally, he stumbled upon a clearing. At its center was an old, abandoned chapel, cloaked in ivy and decay. The cries were louder now, emanating from within. Heart pounding, Elias pushed open the heavy wooden doors. Inside, he found something he could never have imagined, a cage. And inside that cage was a creature unlike anything he'd ever seen. Its body was covered in fur, but its face bore the unmistakable features of a human. It was neither wolf nor man, but something, in between. As Elias stood frozen, the creature's eyes met his, filled with fear and desperation. Before he could react, the villagers arrived, lanterns blazing. They had followed him into the woods. The village elder stepped forward, his face grim. "You shouldn't have come here," he said. "There are things you don't understand." Elias demanded answers, refusing to leave without the truth. And so, the elder revealed the village's darkest secret. Years ago, the villagers had been cursed. Their greed and cruelty angered the forest spirits, who condemned them to transform into wolves under the full moon. But the curse didn't end there. To keep the transformation at bay, the villagers had to sacrifice one of their own, someone chosen by the spirits, to live as a permanent half-creature, trapped in the chapel, forever crying out in pain. Elias was horrified. The creature in the cage wasn't just a monster, it was once a villager, someone who had been sacrificed to protect the others. He looked around, seeing the guilt etched on the villagers' faces. The elder explained, "This is our burden. If we don't uphold the curse, we'll all become beasts." But Elias wasn't convinced. "There must be another way," he said. "We can't keep living in fear, sacrificing our own." His words planted seeds of doubt among the villagers, but the elder dismissed him. "Leave this place. Forget what you saw." Elias had a choice: walk away and let the curse continue, or fight to end the cycle, knowing the risks. Unable to turn his back, Elias devised a plan. He spent the next day researching old texts and consulting forgotten legends. He learned that the curse could be lifted, but only if the village united in repentance and faced the forest spirits together. When night fell, Elias returned to the chapel, this time with the villagers in tow. They confronted the creature, apologized for their betrayal, and begged the spirits for forgiveness. For a moment, the forest went silent. Then, a voice, soft yet powerful, echoed through the clearing, "You have chosen mercy over fear. The curse is lifted." The creature began to transform, its human features returning. The villagers watched in awe as the forest seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. The village of Grey Hollow was never the same after that night. The curfew was lifted, and the fear that had gripped the villagers for generations dissolved. They learned to respect the forest and each other, ensuring the past would never repeat itself. As for Elias, he became a symbol of courage and change, a reminder that even the darkest secrets can be overcome with truth and unity. And so, the forest stands to this day, not as a place of fear, but as a testament to the power of redemption. Ending ambience, calm forest sounds, fading into silence. And that, my friends, is the story of the village's darkest secret, a tale of fear, courage, and a cry that changed everything.